saw do improv here at Charlotte Comedy Theater. As soon as I saw him on stage, I was like, that guy's funny. Got to hang out with him. We have actually become pretty good friends, so that's fun. I would like to introduce a very funny guy, a good friend of mine, Jack Davis.
Thank you.
All right, Jack, what's up?
Oh man, I am thrilled to be here. This is so fun.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. So yeah, this is Jack, everyone. You want to tell us
Hey,
about
y'all.
yourself?
Yeah. So like George said, my name is Jack. I have been a part of Charlotte Comedy Theater for 12, going on 13 years. Yeah, a long time. I tell people it's the longest thing I've done except public school. And it's fun, man. It's, you know, seeing stuff like this happen has been really exciting. Just seeing kind of the growth of the theater and finding ourselves in this kind of space and all that kind of stuff. Because when I started, we would perform in places that probably weren't like safe, you know.
Not great environments.
No, just not
safe.
Yeah, like both like building code wise and like everybody use the buddy system to get to your car wise, you know, like you know, things like that. And so to see kind of where we started and where we're at now has just been really cool.
That's awesome, fantastic. So I understand when you were younger,
Yeah.
you took a pretty huge leap.
Yeah.
Did some time overseas, kind of, in a way?
I did, not the Army.
Right.
You know, I after high school, had an opportunity to go to Sierra Leone, West Africa, and teach English for a year. And I did that. And
a whole year?
A whole year.
And you were like,
and I was 19 years old.
19?
And they gave me so much responsibility. It was not, like, it probably wasn't a great idea to let me do it. You know, but I was like, this sounds great. You know, I wasn't really sure kind of like what my future was going to look like. So I was like, well, let's take this gap year and let's make it productive. So I found myself in a small village in West Africa for a year, and it was incredible.
Wow, wow. So I have a tiny, small picture from that time.
Oh.
I don't know if you can zoom in and get this, or I don't think we have it up on the screen, but
yeah,
so that's hard to see. But this is Jack, and this is
That's my baby monkey Carl.
Tiny pet monkey.
And yeah, I bought him. We were walking back from a village like that was a couple miles away from my village. So we're on the road and we're walking back, and just full disclosure, hunters had caught his mom.
Oh.
And the baby was still there, so it was kind of sad. But they were like, yeah, we've got this baby, we don't know what to do with it. And I said, well, let me buy him from you. And they asked for he cost me $1.50.
Oh.
So it was money well spent. And yeah, so I had Carl, and I was basically his mother for a while.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
He's not. Carl, unfortunately, was too young to survive without his mom for very long. So we did the best we could.
So sad story, but you were there.
Yeah.
You kind of stepped in and took care of him, and kind of probably made that as good as it could be.
Absolutely. I mean, it was better than probably what would have happened in the wild, I think.
Yeah.
And he was such a sweetheart. I would take him with me to school on Fridays and let the kids play with him. You know, it was just another novelty act to the already gimmick of me being there.
All right, I can't imagine that daunting situation. So how did you get through like getting to know people and like the local environment and all
Yeah.
that? How did you even manage?
So big time culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, it's completely just a different world. And you know, where I was, it was kind of a, you know, I say a small village. It's probably a couple hundred people in the middle of just dense jungle, broken up by these small farms that grow, you know, cocoa and different fruits and rice and things like that. And you know, it took me a while to really get comfortable with the language. Like they say in you know, Sierra Leone, the government will tell you that the official language is English. That is a lie. It's not true at all. It's broken up by a bunch of different tribal languages, and so I was learning, you know, how to kind of get around. And so at the time, they had given me like I kind of had like a keeper, and his name was Muhammad. And he was like, they basically, I'm pretty sure they paid him to like watch me. And
we got a 19-year-old kid, white guy from America. Like, keep up with this guy.
They're like, he's gonna do something stupid, or like commit some kind of faux pas, and it's gonna get him into trouble. And so we need to watch you. So I was always with Muhammad. He was always with me. Like, he helped me kind of navigate like what's okay, what's not. Like, here's how, helping me build my language skills and that kind of thing. So he and I got very close over the first couple months that I was there. And so it was great. We had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you hung out with him, met his family, all that kind of stuff?
I did. I met his family, and so this will bring me into one of my favorite stories to tell from the time I was there. So Muhammad was part of a very big family. His dad was the local imam at the mosque in the village, and his dad had like 3 or 4 wives. And there's just a ton of kids. Muhammad had lots of siblings, and so. Cool thing was, I got to know the family, and then, one night I'm with Muhammad, and we're hanging out, and he goes, hey, my sister just got back from college, she'd really like to meet you. And I was like, that sounds terrific. It's, a family member I haven't met yet, and like getting asked to like go somewhere to meet people was not an unusual request at this point, because like you look at me, I am very white. Like, not just like a little bit white, like I get sunburned at nighttime, that's how white I am. And I was in this area, I was the only white guy for hundreds of miles. I was the first white guy that some kids had ever seen, which was fun. They thought I was a ghost. So that was really fun. Like that's kind of the vibe. So it was not unusual for them to be like, hey, we're going to go parade you about in front of these people so they can look at you. Or like, hey, so-and-so's stopping by because they just want to put eyes on you. Like that's not a weird request to like go, we want you to go meet this person. So I was like, that sounds great. And we walked down to where his family lived. And, the sister's there, and she's, sitting outside the house, and the whole family is there. So, like, all of the wives, all of the kids. There's goats and chickens running around. I was like, this is great. This is going to be really fun. We're going to hang out and have a really good time. And we did. So I was there for a couple hours, then I came home and woke up the next morning and started walking to school to teach my first class, and somebody on the road congratulated me on my marriage. You guys see where this is going. And I turned paler than I already am, and like ran to school and got somebody. I was like, hey, I need you to just cover my first class, and I ran back in the other direction and went to like where the chiefs were, and I talked to the chiefs and I said, like, okay, what happened? Because I don't understand. And so they told me that in the tribal tradition, when you make the effort to go and you meet a woman at her house and like the whole family's there to witness it, like that's a marriage, right?
Wow.
Yeah, pretty low bar.
Yeah, it's quite low.
Pretty low bar. And so I was like, well, I didn't know this. Nobody explained this process to me. I'm 19. I do not want a wife, and a wife certainly does not deserve me at this point because I am not doing so hot. And so I said, okay, well, that's cool. What do we need to do to make it go away? Like, how do we, like, there was no paperwork involved in the starting of it. There can't be, like, it can't be hard to make this just disappear. And they kind of talked for a minute, and really what they were doing was figuring out, like, how much money you think we can get out of them to make this happen. And so they came back and they said, all right, we want 150,000 leones to make this go away. And that sounds like a lot of money. That is about $25. And I said, done. I have it on me. It's in my backpack right now. Like, let's, so I paid it. And at this point, I've gone from being panicked to being super, super angry. Because I'm like, Muhammad tricked me. And that is not what friends do. Right. Friends do not trick friends into getting married. And so I ran to his family's farm where he was working that day. And I caught him, and like, he's happy to see me. He's like, things are aces, man. Like, this is great. This is my new brother. Here we are. And I told him, I was like, man, what the hell was that? And he looked at me and was flabbergasted that I was upset. Like, could not fathom it. And I was like, you tricked me. Like, that's not cool. You should have told me this stuff. And he looked at me and he goes, no, that's not what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to trap you. I just thought, like, you and me were like really good friends. Like, I was gonna give you my sister. Yeah, not cool. And so we had to have the conversation that, people are not commodities. We don't just give women away. That's not how things work. And from then on, like, once we got that straightened out, it really, we remained very good friends. And I just always thought it was funny that the guy who was supposed to keep me out of trouble did that. But yeah, and that was, I'd been there at this point, that was like 3 months into my year there. So you can imagine the rest of the year got more and more fun. But yeah, so that's my first marriage. I used to love to tell that story on dates. I thought it was very funny.
Thank you. Yeah.
Watch Late Night Regrets, Fridays at 10